clubhouse, as they say.
All right, welcome everybody to the final night of competition, the Big West Swim and Dive. What an exciting night we have for you in store. Of course, we started off with the final of 3 heats of the 1650, 2 staged earlier today. I'll give you some of the particulars here in just a moment. But standing on the blocks for the 1650 in lane 1, our gaucho, Lilia Simonton, Sophia Bell from UC San Diego in lane 2, Brooke Bennett in lane 3, Sydney Wilson in lane 4 from University of San Diego, Annie Andrus, another gaucho, in lane 5. Skylar Bruner will be the swimmer in lane 6, a junior out of the University of San Diego. Aofi Harkin from Hawaii, a freshman. And then we have Esther Le Major Lecu. Sorry, Esther, if I blew that one, but anyway, she's in lane 8. Getting ready to start the women's 1650 here. And as we start the 1650, Gabby Kelly earlier this afternoon was your top time with a 16:55.79. That was a tremendous swim. Amelie Ogilvy for the Gauchos was in 4th with a 17:23.15, and 9th was Ellie Schomburg with a 17:46.88. A couple of other numbers you might be interested in. The meet record going back to 2006, Laura McDonald swam a 16:24.87. So putting that into perspective, Gabby Kelly, who is the leader out of Heat 2, would have to have swum about 30 seconds faster. And the top seed in this final heat, which is in lane 4, Sydney Wilson out of the University of San Diego, 16:55.37. So it'd be a big drop to get to that meet record. Another number we'll keep an eye on, the NCAA auto qualifying time, meaning that if you hit the time and you win the race, you win the actual conference, you get an automatic bid to the NCAA Division I field, either women's or men's, depending on who you are. One of the things that we're going to be tracking tonight, of course, is the team scores. Hawaii really kind of in the driver's seat, both for the men and women. Very strong dive team, has brought a great in the pool team as well. So the chances of UC Santa Barbara, the men or women, repeating that amazing year last year, where both won the conference at the same time, just a magical ending. That's not going to happen this year, but what can happen is both teams might finish as high as second. Now for the women, my crack researcher here, Mike Carpenter, has basically flushed the numbers, and from prelims this morning, assuming everything goes to form and relays and platform diving tonight, which means that of course something will get chaotic, but if it all goes to form, what it does mean is that Santa Barbara would be projected on paper to hold off UC San Diego by 11 points, and then get this, UC San Diego would have UC Davis by a point. So that would be three teams within a 12-point spread. That is all headed tonight. We'll go over the men a little later. But the men just as interesting, particularly between UC San Diego and UC Santa Barbara. Again, two gauchos in this 1650. Lane one at the bottom of your screen, kind of below the rail, is Lilia Simonson. She's a freshman. And of course, the senior, Annie Andres, is in lane 5, right next to the preceded leader, Sydney Wilson, out of the University of San Diego.
Gabby Kelly earlier was 505 at the 500.
So a good comparison. Gabby Kelly was 505 at the 500. Let's see what the leader turns here. And it looks like some of the field is going to be under that, including the leader, Sydney Wilson, 5:00.99. So she's got a good 4-second cushion, at least just under a third of the way through this race. Again, 66 laps. The mile is. And I'll get you an update on where our gauchos stand here in just a second. Annie is going to turn third, 30.59 on that split. Lilia in fifth with a 31.49. So Lilia holding firm out there in lane 1. Again, lane 8 at the top of your screen, lane 1 at the bottom. 700 yards into this mile bonanza. Sydney Wilson still holding firm at 7:02.70 in first place. Annie Anderson fourth at 7:05.23. Lelia Symington just turned at 7:10.60 in sixth place with a split of 32.16 on that last 50. By comparison, let me get you a 50 split on the leader. Play that game a little bit. That's kind of fun. Wilson, the leader, turning at 30.55. Annie, by the way, at 30.91, so she's off just a fraction on the 50. And Lilia with a 32.2. Again, from the late afternoon session, Gabby Kelly was your top swim. She went 16:55.79. And just over the halfway point, it still remains Sydney Wilson 1, but she's in a tight battle with Sophia Bell from UC San Diego. They've been kind of locked in. University of San Diego versus UC San Diego. Annie, who's in lane 5, in battle with Skylar Bruner from another USD swimmer. And Lilia down below here in lane 1, kind of in a battle with the swimmer in lane 7, Aofi Harkin. Leader split still a 30.38, so she's really clipping off pretty consistent times in the low 30s.
Both of them split 30.38 and now 50. Both these two split 30.38.
Coming up on the 1,000.
Looking for a time of 10:14.99.
10:14.99 was Gabby Kelly's time, and you can see that Sydney Wilson's a good, and Sophia Bell are both good 8.5, 9 seconds below that mark. So this is definitely going to be a faster swim. Annie turning fourth in 10:11.42. This race about 2/3 of the way gone. It's gone quickly. And it's still Sydney Wilson with Sophia Bell right there in lane 2, just keeping an eye on things. Again, a 30.38. How steady is that on that 50 split for Wilson? Still a peak there. We've been speculating whether the two swimmers can see each other in how they stroke. And they're both Bell now turning in as she goes this direction from right to left across your screen. She can sneak a peek over there at Wilson, and then Wilson going from left to right does the same to her going up the other direction. So, and when you're that equal with somebody 2 laps over, sometimes that peripheral vision not as effective. But they are neck and neck here, approaching 50 laps down into this race with just 16 to go. That would be 400 yards. We'll get you an update on our gauchos here in just a second. Turning first, Sophia Bell. First time tonight she's done that. 30.13 on that 50 split to make that happen. And Annie just turning fourth now. 12:48.54, a 31.46 on that last 50. And Lilia now has edged ahead of, it looks like, across the pool of lane 8, so it looks like she might be 7th when she turns here. Let me see. Lilia is going to turn 7th. 13:06.85. But again, our 2 leaders just locked in, lapping Lilia. Simonton to her left is Sophia Bell. And as they turn, they are absolutely dead even. Separated by 13/100ths of a second after 54 laps. Tough to tell who's going to turn it on here in the last couple 100 yards and pull away. Annie just turning 4th right now. 31.68 her last 50. They'll have 10 laps to go as they turn here.
Who's going to bend?
Look at this. Sophia Bell, Sydney Wilson just absolutely right next to each other. Well, they're split, I guess, by lane 3, but
Wilson tends to get just off the walls a little bit better, and then Bell kind of closes on her.
Wilson flip turn proved to be better, or at least slightly better, and then you see Sophia Bell reel her in the middle section of the lap. And they've just gone past the 5th place swimmer.
On the 1500.
That's Brooke Bennett from the University of Hawaii. And we are coming up on the 1500. 15:25.98 was the earlier time. Oh man, Sophia Bell and Sydney Wilson 17 seconds below that mark. And here comes Annie. Still in 4th at 15:26.79. So the top 3 swimmers all under that mark from earlier tonight. And here goes Wilson. 100 to go, or less than 100 to go, and Wilson really going to the throttle now. Don't think Sophia Bell can answer, but you never know. Not judging by that kick and that stroke rate. I'll get you a 50 split here as she comes to the bell, but she has really turned it on. 29.77. Swimming a half second faster, almost 0.6 faster than she was earlier in the race. She's been saving, and now she is going. Sydney Wilson from the University of San Diego is going to win this going away. Sophia Bell was with her was there for most of the race, but in the last 200 yards, she waved goodbye. Sophia Bell, your winner of the 1650, 16:36.45. Great swim. Sophia Bell in second, 16:41 even. Waiting on third in lane 6. Here she comes. And lane 6 In third place will be Skylar Bruner from the University of San Diego, 16:49.41. Congratulations, Annie Andrus, as she comes in fourth place, 16:59.92. That's a fraction off of what she swam earlier this season, but still a great swim for Annie. And then Lilia Simonson, the freshman now, is going to wind up 7th. Great job, Lilia, as she comes in 17:23.50. And that concludes the women's 1650 freestyle. The podium established in this heat with Sydney Wilson of University of San Diego, Sophia Bell from UCSD, and Skylar Bruner rounding out the top 3 at 16:49.41. Up next, the men. All right, time for the championship final for the men's 1650 free. In lane 1, from Cal State Bakersfield, the freshman, Karsten Eichler. In lane 2, sophomore from UCSD, Charlie Franz. Your gaucho, Jack Hendrick, the junior, is in lane 3. Riley Clinton, University of Hawaii, junior. Top time, by the way, at 15:32.15. Couple of freshmen next. Zach Towers in lane 5 from UC San Diego. Landon England, a freshman from UC San Diego, is in lane 6. Lane 7 is Batu Servi, a sophomore from Grand Canyon, and Jacob Pins, a sophomore from Grand Canyon, will be in lane 8. Now, you're probably wondering earlier today, who's on top? Well, we'll tell you, it was a blazing 1650 and late this afternoon. Evan Pickles from Hawaii swam it in 15:32.31. 15:32.31. Just to put that into perspective, on paper right now would put him the 2nd seed going into this final. And Andrew Lilly was 6th. He's currently sitting 6th in the standings at 16:09.64. So Andrew, a great swim. But Jack Hendrick tonight representing the Gauchos here in this final session. And off they go.
Let me hear about the men.
Possible.
Like, it's because you said San Diego and the men were like, you sent me a text. Oh yeah. So I mean, if it all goes to plan, it's a little bit like the start of the hunt. So literally, if it goes as seeded, and the mile and the relay, the San Diego men and the Santa Barbara men were tied.
Oh wow. Who's leading right now, Brian?
The hunting.
Wow. Okay, so Santa Barbara.
They're not
All right, as promised, as we watch the opening laps of the 1650, first and foremost, the team scores going into, for the men, going into this session in the evening. University of Hawaii had a 25-point advantage over Grand Canyon. Again, I expect with dive points that Hawaii is likely going to hold on to win the conference. But Grand Canyon might make me eat my words later, who knows. UC Santa Barbara is 3rd with 381 points. UC San Diego 4th with 367. Cal State Bakersfield back in 5th place, back about 90 points. And then Seattle University in 6th. Now, what's interesting, Mike Carpenter has run the numbers. And if everything holds true, and all the races and the relays, etc., UC Santa Barbara, on paper with UC San Diego, they're projected to be in a dead heat, a tie. So that obviously means something is going to go chaotic, and it'll be interesting to see which way that goes. But right now, Santa Barbara has a 14-point margin to the good, but that could close depending on what happens tonight. And that, of course, would be for third place. But back to the 1650. Again, Jack Hendrick in lane 3, which would be 3 from the bottom. Lane 8 at the top again, lane 1 at the bottom of the screen. Hendrick off the pace here in the early laps, but we'll see if he starts to pick it up mid-race. Currently holding 8th at 2:44.64, about 3 seconds off the leader, Riley Clinton from Hawaii in lane 4. They're all chasing the time of Evan Pickles, a 16:32.31 earlier today. That was good for a 12-second, more than 12-second victory, or 12 seconds, I should say, over the second-place swimmer. Shows you how good that swim was. We'll get a 500 comparison for you here momentarily with Pickles' time versus Riley Clinton's time. Nope, I'm sorry, lane 5 would be Zach Towers' time in UC San Diego in lane 5. So we'll have, they're coming up on the 500. Jack Hendrick continues to trail, but I suspect we're going to see more from him as this race progresses. So we're looking at the 500, 443. 443 is what Pickles swam, and oh man, look at this. It is a 9-second advantage right now as it stands. No, 10-second advantage for Zach Tower, 10-second advantage over Evan Pickles. So as good as Pickles' swim was, not approaching the leader in the primetime heat, if you will. A couple other numbers you might want to know. The meet record was set last year by our own Tabor DaCosta. The UCSB Gaucho went 15:03.07 about a year ago on this night. One of the best swims we've seen Tabor do as a 4-year starter with the Gauchos. And if we're going to see an auto qualifying time, one of these swimmers is going to have to go 15:06.6 or faster. So just for fun, if Tabor had been in this race this year and gone 15:03 and won the race, he would have also won the conference, and he would have gone to the NCAAs a year ago. But alas, the rules changed between last year and this year. "26 laps in. Actually, it's the inside lane now. Karsten Eichler out of Cal State Bakersfield that has now taken the lead. Sneaky down there but below the rail. But very tight for the top 3 spots at this point. That'll be 40 laps, right? Huh? 40 laps? Yeah. 106. Approaching the 750. Karsten Eichler from Cal State Bakersfield continues to lead, 6:54.53. Zach Tower in second, 6:55.46. Landon England from UCSD in third. And Jack Hendrick now moving into seventh. So he's up one. And seems to be tracking down Riley Clinton out of Hawaii as well. So we'll check that. We'll give you the leader split here in just a second and compare it to Hendrick's split. The leader continues to be Karsten Eicher. But it's a three-man race right now. So Eicher, who turns first after 34 laps, is splitting 28.18. And Jack Hendrick is splitting, as he turns, 29.07. So Jack off the pace of the leader. There maybe is some energy to go here in the second half to move up on the sixth place swimmer who's just ahead of him in lane 4.
Pickles is 9:28. He's got the way.
Lane 1 continues to lead. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you where this swim stands. First, Karsten Eicher, how would he stand against Tabor DaCosta's swim from last year?
Even know he's there. Yeah, these guys have no idea he's here.
Lane 1, 9:06 was Tabor at the 1,000. Eicher's going to turn the 1,000 in 9:16 or 9:15, so 9-second differential. So this is definitely a slower pace. And there's clearly evidence that the gentlemen swimmers in lane 6 and 5 may not even see Eicher here in lane 1. But now it looks like lane 6, Landon England, the UCSD swimmer, starting to go to the whip. And is definitely dropping lane 5. Give you a check on Jack Hendrick, who's moving up on his swimmer. Hendrick turning in 7th, but he's right behind the swimmer in 6th, Riley Clinton. So every point matters here for the Gauchos. And now it looks like lane 6 might be challenging for the lead. Landon England. Nope, sorry, still Eicher. And another guy that we've not noticed is lane 8 out there is in 2nd place right now. So it's outside smoke on both sides of this pool. I did not even notice lane 8. Been so focused on lane 1. But lane 8 is now taking the lead, I believe. Look at this push in lane 8. Jacob Pins.
That's the kid from Arizona. That's the kid from Arizona.
Thank you. Jacob Pins suddenly showing some massive speed. The Arizona transfer to Grand Canyon. So he's got some Pac-12, Big 12 pedigree here. And he continues to lead, 27.72 on that 50 split. Jack Hendrick has now moved past his swimmer, Riley Clinton, to take over 6th. Seems to be solidifying that position. He's going to have to make up 3 seconds here in the last 18 laps to catch the 5th place swimmer. I don't know if that's going to happen. But what a race developing on the outside of this pool. Jacob Pins from Grand Canyon laying it down right now. And Karsten Eicher in lane 1 from Cal State Bakersfield hanging in. But we still might hear from lane 6, which is Landon England, who is now, I think, very close to taking second. Approaching 12 laps to go. And it's still Jacob Pins outside in lane 8. Carsten Eicher in second. Landon England in third. That race between second and third, spicy. Jacob Pins with 10 laps to go is now splitting a 28:06. Just to give you a sense of how fast he's going, the swimmer just below him, his teammate, was a 29:81. So he almost took up 2 seconds in that last 50 just on his own teammate. So the number we're looking for here, Tabor DaCosta, 13:42 at the 1500, which is coming up at this next wall. And clearly, Tabor would have been the class of the field this year. But alas, it's Jacob Pins flipping with 150 yards to go. He's cruising. Hendrick is moving up too, it looks like. Might catch Tower. He might make a, yeah, looks like he might catch Jack Tower. Jack Hendrick with a late charge. Definitely has more momentum than Zach Tower does. So a brilliant rally from Jack Hendrick, who at one point was 8th in this race and has moved up to 5th. And he goes on past Zach Tower. Meantime, the bell's coming out for Jacob Pins in lane 8. He is going to win this. It's just a matter of what time and how low. Pins with less than 50 to go. In second place, Carsten Eicher. Big push by Jack Hendrick. And here comes Jacob Pins, who just absolutely took over this race about 2/3 of the way through, powers to the wall and wins in a 15:17:54. Carsten Eicher from Cal State Bakersfield, 15:22:75. Landon England will get the podium at 15:24:33. And here comes Jack Hendrick. Can't see with the fans in my way, but I will tell you that Jack is in there in 5th at 15:41:67. Tremendous last 50, by the way, 26:89. Congratulations to the folks in the 1650, but what a swim for Jacob Pins, the back half of that race. Evan Pickles, 15:32, doesn't survive much here.
What's that? And 5th overall. no, yeah, they do. Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's give you a quick update on the team scores after the mile. University of Hawaii remains the number one team with 554. Grand Canyon University, 527. UC San Diego with a number of swimmers in that 1650 flips the script, at least for now. 9 points ahead of UC Santa Barbara for third. Cal State Bakersfield is in fifth at 289.5, and then Seattle University at 199.5. As for the women, update that score. University of Hawaii with 669, really kind of pulling away from UC Davis in second at 530. UC San Diego with 460, and UC Santa Barbara in fourth with 451. So right now, unless something dramatically changes, it looks like it's going to be a fight between UC Santa Barbara and UC San Diego, maybe for third, but we'll see, because there's a lot of good swims to come on the women's side, including the relays. If you're a University of San Diego fan, they're in fifth at 276. Cal State Bakersfield in at sixth with 127. And Seattle University rounding out the top seven with 126. It's awards time right now. And after the awards, it will be the 200 backstroke. What's that?
If we sit like right in this front, are we gonna block the camera?
If you're sitting, you're fine. If you stand, then it gets kind of like,
Okay.
yeah. All right. Next up, it's the women's 200 back. We have the B final and the A final. In the B final, we've got lane one, Bever from University of San Diego. Molly Magnuson in lane two, a sophomore out of Seattle University. Coco Quill will be in lane three. She's a sophomore out, of course, of your Gauchos. Carlotta Ingernerf, a freshman out of University of Hawaii, University of San Diego, represented by Gwendolyn Smith. UCSB's Amelie Ogilvy is a sophomore in lane six from Santa Barbara. UC Davis's Ella Palmer in lane 7, and Penelope Leonard, the senior out of San Diego. The consolation final of the women's 200 backstroke. By the way, last year, Coco Quill 11th, Amelie 12th in this race, in this same pool. And off they go, 8 laps. Coming into this, the meet record of 156.94 last year by Eva Bolke, but that's still above, almost 2 seconds above the auto qualifier for the NCAA. So there has to be something special tonight. 50 yards in, it's Carlotta Ingernerf of the University of Hawaii with a 28.11. I'll get you the status of our swimmers here. They're platform diving next to us, and someone made a tremendous cannonball. All right, lane 4 seems to be the leader. That'd be Carlotta Ingernerf, but how are our gauchos doing? Amelie in 4th. Coco Quill in 3rd with a 59.12. Coco went 2:00.86 last year. She's seeded 11th this year with a 2:01.86. Coming to the 150, Ingernerf, the Hawaii warrior, looking good, but lane 5 also in the mix. Gwendolyn Smith out of University of San Diego. Coco in lane 3, Amelie in lane 6. And it looks like Coco is trying to sneak up and get 3rd in this heat. Coming to the wall. It will be Ingernerf in lane 4 who wins it. 2nd place is Gwendolyn Smith, and getting 3rd, Coco Quill with a 2:01.16. Amelie with a 2:01.93. And that is a drop for Coco. She was 2:01.86 this morning. So congratulations. Now your championship final of the women's 200 backstroke. In lane 1, we have Sydney Niles, a sophomore out of UC San Diego. Lane 2, Skylar Bruner, a junior out of the University of San Diego. Your defending champion is in lane 3, Eva Bolke, a junior out of the UC San Diego. Emily Sherberries, a junior out of Davis, is in lane 4. Addie Everidge, a freshman, is in lane 6 from UC San Diego. Hazel Durr, a senior, of course, our gaucho, she's in lane 6. Addison Cerny, a freshman out of Cal State Bakersfield, and Bryn Graham, the junior out of UC Davis, is in lane 8. Hazel this morning qualified 4th in a 1:59.64. Last year in this event, she went 1:58.05. She's been as fast as 1:56. So if Hazel can put something special here in her last individual race as a UCSB gaucho, she could definitely reach the podium, if not further than that. And off they go. Again, Hazel Durr in lane 6. Top seed Emily Shenberries, lane 4. Sherberry, sorry. Tough name. Sorry, Emily. It looks to be lane 5 in the opening. It's Addie Everidge. She's out there in an opening 26.77. Hazel with a 27.88 in fourth.
Everidge is out in 56.4 this morning, and Sherberry is out in 57 flat, so we'll see who's got.
Everidge out 56.4 in the morning. About a second slower was the swimmer below her, Emily Shenberries. Flipping at the 100, and they're right together, separated by 4/100ths of a second. 56.20, 56.24. Eva Bolke now third. Hazel Durr in fourth with a 57.95. See if Hazel can make up some ground here in the last 100 to get on that podium.
Oh, don't count Bolke out.
Lane 3 also looking good. Eva Bolke, the defending champion, making her statement now at the 150 at the turn. It's Eva Bolke in lane 1. Hazel is in fourth, but now closing. Hazel Durr with some late smoke here has moved definitely into third place. Looking for second now. Eva Bolke now in lane 3. Appears to be pulling away, but look at Hazel Durr in lane 6. It's a three-way race for second place. Who's going to get it? Eva Bolke will win this, but at the wall, it's all reach. Hazel, she is third, but she's on the podium, a 158.41, out-touched by Emily Sherberries. Eva Bolke, your winner, at 156.37. And that, of course, is 0.6 faster than she went last year. So congratulations to Eva Bolke from UC San Diego. But Hazel Durr, tremendous second 100 to get herself onto the podium with a 158.41. Just off of her time last year where she went 158.05. All right, moving on to the B final of the men's 200-yard backstroke. Andrew Simmons in lane 1. Sophomore from Hawaii. Daniel Volkov, a senior from Grand Canyon. Robbie Griswold in lane 3, a senior from UCSD. Mohammed Mahambi, senior from Grand Canyon. Taisei Saito, our gaucho, a sophomore. He's in lane 5. Lane 6, Matthias Samat, junior from Seattle. Asher Havenhill in lane 7, a junior from Grand Canyon. And probably the longest name I'll read tonight, Adrian. I'll just call him Adrian. He's a freshman in lane 8 from Grand Canyon. So Hirzik, that's what I'm going to go with. Sorry, Adrian, if I messed that one up. All right, off they go. The meet record, by the way, was set last year by Drew Houston, the Cal Poly speedster. He went 140.39. The reason Drew is not here this year to defend his title is because Cal Poly's program was cut. So he is now at USC and doing very well there. So good luck to Drew in the upcoming Pac-12 men's championships. Ride that Big West legacy. Lane 7, Asher Haverhill. Haverhill turning first in a 50.68. Taisei in fourth at 52.49. Haverhill with that long reach. But you get the sense that this isn't over. Taisei in lane 5, right there in the mix. Haverhill now leads it, 117.78 on the 150. But Taisei at 120.01. Now in fourth, stays in fourth. Let's see if he's got any closing speed. Haverhill starting to tire a smidge, but will he hold on? Out in lane 7. Looks like he will. It's going to be close, though. He's fading. Oh, I think lane 3, Robbie Griswold with a great finish. Gets the win in the B final, 146.07, as Haverhill fades just at the last second Mohammed Mahambi was in second at 146.13. Taisei Saito, 147.79 rather, 147.79 finishes fourth. Looking at his time this morning, right about what he went this morning. Championship final, the men's 200 backstroke now. Jack Nugent from UCSB, he's in lane one, the junior. Anish Viravatam, the freshman from UCSB. Lucas Hubbard, the freshman from UCSB. So three gauchos right next to each other. Lane one, lane two, lane three. Luigi Franco in lane four was the top seed from UC San Diego. He had a 143.87 this morning. He's going to need to go about a second and a half faster to get to that auto qualifying time of 142.14. And again, a ways off of Drew Houston's meet record of 140.39. Danielis Kvirtis, the junior from Seattle, in lane 5. Jacko Shaughnessy, the sophomore from UC San Diego, in lane 6. Corey Teal, sophomore from the University of Hawaii, is in lane 7. And Shane Burns, UC San Diego senior, he's in lane 8. By the way, Taisei Saito, who swam in that B final, actually swam in the A final last year. Jack Nugent needed a 2.3 second drop to get into this A final today. Whoa, boy, we got my camera all over the place. All right, here we go. Jack Nugent, lane 1. Anish Viravatam, lane 2. Lucas Hubbard, lane 3, all for the Gauchos. Long hold. And off they go. Coming to the 50. Man, wide open in the middle of the pool here. Let's see who grabs it first. Oh, it's Corey Teal down in lane 7. Or up in lane 7, I should say, 23.90. Our Gauchos 8th, 7th, and 6th, respectively, have some work to do. Coming to the 100 mark. It was a low 50 on the split in the B final, and it's going to be very similar here. Corey Teal with a 49.88 first. Lucas Hubbard, the top Gaucho, in 6th, with Anish in 7th and Jack Nugent in 8th. To the 150. And it's lane 5. Danielis Kvirtis taking over for Seattle, a 116.37. Lucas and Anish in 6th and 7th. Jack is a little bit off the pace. But coming into the final 25, this really is turned into a race between lane 4 and lane 5. Lane 4 making a charge now. Luigi Franco. Who's going to get it? Franco, I think, got him. He did. 143.19. An 11-100 win over Danielis Kvirtis of Seattle. 143.30. Top finisher, Anish Viravatam for Gauchos rallies to 5th at 145.55. Lucas Hubbard, 147.45 was 7th. And in 8th at 151.92 is Jack Nugent. But that 145.55 by Anish. Let me check the stats here. That's about what he went this morning, so very consistent. So time for medals now. Next up will be when they get through the award presentation, will be the women's 100 free, and this is going to be quick. Tell you a little bit about it now, since it's going to be quick. We're not going to have time to really do it later. But the meet record in the women's 100 free is Aja Kozan, 48.47. That was last year. And that actually would be 1300ths under the 48.6 is the automatic qualifying time this year. So if she simply goes what she did last year, she's in. Of course, she already qualified in the 200 free earlier this meet. So it's been a very good junior year here in Houston for Aja Kozan. The top 3 seeds going into this event will be Holly Nelson from Hawaii with a 49.15. Aja Kozan, 49.51 from the morning swim. Just double checking my math there. Eugenie Lanolis from UCSB, right now seated 3rd at 49.92. Holly Nelson, by the way, from Hawaii, and Kozan from San Diego, finished in the reverse order in 2025. So whereas Nelson goes into tonight in the lead, she actually wound up with a silver medal last year. So we'll see what the rematch brings us. Eugenie, by the way, 6th a year ago with a 50.67. So Eugenie's scrubbing off about 7/10 of a second to get into the 3rd position this morning into this A final. Also in this mix is Greta Collison in 5th. With a 50.07. She was not in the finals last year, so she's making her first final appearance. Miranda Stevenson is in 8th, so she'll round out the A final with 3 UCSB swimmers. Miranda getting in this morning with a 50.51, but she's got more speed. She finished on the podium last year with a time of 49.94, so if she can drop a half a second, she is going to be pretty happy, I believe. And then, of course, in the B final will be McKenna Leacox, the junior out of UCSB. She had a 50.95. So that is kind of the 100 free in a nutshell coming up here. I don't know if I'm going to have time to give you some of the facts from the men, so I will just say that we have 4 gauchos in both the consolation final and A final, 2 of which will be in the A final, and Alex Zettel and Mason Wendler. And in the B final, it'll be the senior Zach Thomasitis and Noah Wagner-Zurich, both getting into the B final. Hopefully I have time to give you some of the record times and all that coming up here. But the men now receiving their medals on the podium over there. Good moment for Luigi Franco, the UC San Diego swimmer. All right, as we get set for the women's 100 freestyle B final, let's go over the names. Lane 1 is Rebecca Luoto, junior from University of Hawaii. Quincy Key, a junior from Hawaii, in lane 2. Gabby Bellin, a senior from Davis. Danny Carter, a freshman from UCSD. It's Allie Deal, a freshman from the University of San Diego, in lane 5. Maddie O'Connell in lane 6. Sophomore from UCSD. McKenna Leacox, of course, our gaucho, in lane 7. And Ava Delaney, the senior out of University of San Diego. Here we go. Wide open field across the board here in the B final. Let's see who turns first. Looks to be lane 2, perhaps. Yep, lane 2, Quincy Key, 23.83. McKenna in fifth at 24.35. Told you this was fast. This is going to be over in about the next 13 seconds. The Hawaii swimmer out of lane 2, Quincy Key, still in the mix. But the middle of the pool, I think this is where the wind's going to come from. And let's check it. Lane 6, I believe. Nope, it is Quincy Key who holds on, 50.30. It's Gabby Bellin in lane, I'm sorry, from University of UC Davis is in second. Third is Maddie O'Connell with a 50.38. McKenna Leacox, our gaucho, fading to eighth at a 51.10. So she simply ran out of gas in that second 50, and generally that's last 25. All right, championship final. Sophie McKay in lane 1, a junior from UC Davis. Greta Collison, junior from UC Santa Barbara. Eugenie Lanalis making her final debut. UCSB. Holly Nelson, lane 4, the senior from Hawaii. Aja Kozan, the junior from UC San Diego. Naomi Bogholm, a junior from UC Davis. McKenna Valenta, she is a sophomore from UC Davis. A lot of speed in the pool from up north. And Miranda Stevenson, our final gaucho of 3 in the A final. She is in lane 8, but keep an eye on her. She has got speed to burn. Again, the auto qualifying mark we're looking for is 48.60. Aja Kozan was under that last year in winning this event. Holly Nelson is the top seed from the morning now, hoping to reverse what happened a year ago. Gaucho fans, we're looking at lane 2, lane 3, and lane 8, which is at the very top of your screen. Miranda out quick in lane 8. Let's see who flips first. It's Holly Nelson, 23.19. Followed by Eugenie, who's in second with a 23.54. Miranda was in sixth. To the last 25. Holly Nelson. Looking like she might hold off Aja Kozan in lane 5. To the tape. Holly Nelson wins it, 48.67. Aja Kozan in second with a 49.06. Third is Miranda Stevenson. She gets on the podium, 49.71, her second consecutive year of doing that. Congratulations, Miranda. Eugenie with a fourth place finish in 49.85. And Greta Collison seventh, 50.26. But Holly Nelson with that 48.67 just misses the automatic qualifying standard by 0.2 of a second. Congratulations, Miranda. All right, on to the consolation final of the men's 100 freestyle. In lane 1, William Seymour. Lane 2, Zach Tomasidis, our senior from UCSB. Eli Cohen in lane 3 from Grand Canyon. Zach Ilian, UCSD, the junior in lane 4. Kyle Kengla, the freshman from UCSD. Lane 6 is Arthur Amaral Schneider, senior from Cal State Bakersfield. The junior, Noah Wagner-Jurek from UCSB in lane 7. And Kyle Sari, the senior from Cal State Bakersfield. By the way, the meet record by Carol Ostrowski, who's in the next heat, 42.51 last year in the Big West, and would have been under the auto qualifier by 4/100ths of a second. He has already punched his ticket from earlier in the meet when he swam a blazing 50. Off they go. Lane 5 looking very strong, as is lane 8. Turning right now is, it is lane 1. I can't see him down there below me, but it was William Seymour from UCSD 21:05 opening up. Coming to the wire. Let's see who's got the B final. It is Zach Ilian, UCSD. Second place, Kyle Kenga. So the top time, 44:21, 44:26 is second place. Zach Tomasidis in there for third. Terrific job to get on the top three there in the B final. All right, on to the championship final. They're going quickly tonight. In lane one, we have Reagan Richardson, a junior out of Hawaii. Guillermo Carey, a junior out of Grand Canyon. Lane three is Karol Ostrowski. Doesn't list what year he is, but I'm guessing he's fifth year. University of Hawaii. Finn Brophy, greatest name in swimming. Sophomore out of University of Hawaii. Hunter Sahelnik, the sophomore out of UCSD, is in lane 5. Lane 6 is Alex Volkov, the senior out of Grand Canyon. Lane 7 is Alex Zettel, our gaucho. Missed out on the 50, but is in here in the A final of the 100 free. That had to feel good after his morning swim. And Mason Wendler in lane 8, our other gaucho. By the way, going back to last season, we've got a minute to tell you. Again, the meet record, 42:51 by Karol Ostrowski. Now, there is some history with this event. Finn Brophy, Hunter Sahelnik, and Karol Ostrowski all in last year's A final. It was Ostrowski finishing third, Hunter Sahelnik finishing third. Ostrowski finishing first, Sahelnik finishing third, Finn Brophy in sixth. And Mason Wendler, who squeezed into this one in the ace spot, he was fifth last year in one of his tremendous swim. By the way, Zach Tomasidis, 11th last year in his junior year here in Houston. All right, on we go to the men's final, 100 free. Really interested to see how this turns out. This could be an absolutely lightning 100 free. At the turn, it is Finn Brophy, 20.24. Man, he went out quick. Karol Ostrowski in lane 3 was a 23.4. Alex Zettel was 7th, Mason 8th. Final 15 yards of the men's 100 freestyle. Looks like it's lane 3, Karol Ostrowski. But will Finn Brophy catch him? No. It is Karol Ostrowski, 42.41. Finn Brophy in second with 42.67. 42.80 for Guillermo Carey to get onto that, from Grand Canyon to get onto that podium. As for our gauchos, it was 43.57, Alex Zettel in sixth. And in seventh, Mason Wendler with a 43.88. Still some great swims. And by the way, looking at the 100 freestyle, that 42.51, so that means that for the second time around, Ostrowski is an automatic qualifier to the NCAA Men's Division I Swim Championships coming up in March, although he had already banged out his ticket in the 50 free. Looking at times for Alex Zettel, 43.57. He was a 43.76, so a 19/100 drop for Alex Zettel from morning to evening. So great swim for Alex Zettel. Bit of some redemption after missing out on that 50 final, which I know he was disappointed with. Looking over to my talented statistician, Mike Carpenter. See if we can't get a score update here. As we await the breaststroke next, the women's and men's 200 breaststroke. Meet record, by the way, this is kind of fun. Did some research today. The meet record actually goes all the way back to 2009. Katie Freeman, 17 years ago, and yes, a UC Santa Barbara swimmer, who then later went on to the NCAAs that year. But Katie Freeman swam a 2:09.12 for UCSB back in 2009, so that record has not been touched since. And the automatic qualifying time now is a 2:11.27, so she would have been under it by over 2 seconds. Top qualifier this morning for the women's 200 breast is Chloe Braun at 2:13.54. She, of course, won the 100 breaststroke and punched her ticket to the NCAAs after that race. And Chloe actually had an entry time of 2:12.76, so really kind of an easy swim this morning. Now let's set the table for your gauchos. Mai Kawahata will be actually in third in that A final. She went 2:15.62, but don't be fooled by Mai. She actually went 2:13.40 at the Navy Invite back in November, so clearly she was probably in an easy morning swim just to get a lane because there wasn't that many heats of the 200 breast this morning, so she was saving her energy. So Mai Kawahata could be very much in the mix with both Chloe and Sofia Tominska, who is the second seeded swimmer. Ashley Ray, the senior, in fourth with a 2:15.67. Lucy Wong will be swimming in sixth. Her time at 2:16.58, and Sylvia Faraboshi at 2:17.78 is in eighth. By the way, some other facts to throw at you. Ashley Ray was fourth here a year ago, and she's seeded fourth today. Mai Kawahata was fifth a year ago. She's seeded third today. Sylvia Faraboshi was seventh a year ago, and now she's eighth. And Lucy is the big winner, if you will. Lucy was 11th a year ago, and now, of course, she's moved up to sixth. All right, let's go over the B final now. In lane one, we have Olivia Anderson, a sophomore out of University of San Diego. It's Alexia Kovaluk, University of Hawaii sophomore. Elise Sullivan, a junior out of the University of San Diego. Sabrina Benani, the senior out of UC San Diego. She is the top seed in the B final at 2:18.79. It is Ellen Zhang, a junior out of UC Davis, in lane 5. Lane 6 is Kayla Gregory, junior out of UC Davis. Delaney Johns in lane 7, a sophomore out of Seattle University. And Ava Craig in lane 8, a sophomore out of the University of San Diego.
After the 100 free.
Mike Carpenter giving me the update here on the point totals. Let's start with the women first. University of Hawaii still in the lead with 7 under 9. They have a 101-point lead on UC Davis. UC San Diego 535. UC Santa Barbara 520. So that race for that second spot appears to be going Davis's way right now with 608 points. Now it's a question of whether UC Santa Barbara can overcome UC San Diego. We do have some speed coming up again in this final of the breaststroke, so we'll see what that entails. University of San Diego in 5th, Cal State Bakersfield 6th, Seattle University in 7th. For the men, through the 100 freestyle, right now, University of Hawaii is ahead by 39 points over Grand Canyon. Both teams have diving in platform diving tonight, so that could be interesting. UC San Diego, the men, in 3rd at 497. UC Santa Barbara with 472 trails by 25 points, but we do have more points coming up in some other events. Cal State Bakersfield is in 5th, and in 6th is Seattle University. And of course, Karol Ostrowski, it's shown on the board, gets his ticket punched again. Second of the meet. So he has now punched his ticket in the 50 and the 100 freestyle. All right, we're getting ready for the consolation final of the women's 200 breaststroke. No gauchos in this heat. They're all in the A final, but this still should be Fun to watch. And off they go. If you're a Gaucho fan, you got to start watching how many Titans are in each heat. Right now, Sabrina Bonani, the lone representative from UCSD in this heat in lane 4. Also the top seed in the Constellation final. But right now it looks to be lane 2, Alexia Kovaluk from University of Hawaii. 30.74 opener. As we approach the 100 mark, it looks like lane 6 might be edging out. Nope, maybe, yep, lane 6 grabs it. No, lane 5 rather, Alan Zhang with a slight lead over Kayla Gregory in lane 6. Both teammates, by the way. That ought to be fun. And they still lead, approaching the 150 mark. But a lot could change here because there's a lot of momentum across the pool right now. Coming to the 150. Another tight turn. 1-2 again for the Davis teammates. 1:45.2 is the lead time by Kayla Gregory. And now she appears to be slightly ahead. Not as close as it was just 15 seconds ago. Now we'll see what the turn entails. Always a critical part of breaststroke. Into the closing 10 yards we go. Nice stroke for Kayla Gregory in 6. Timing it will be, oh, Kayla Gregory does hold on. 2:15.97. Alan Zhang, or I should say Aline Zhang in lane 5, and a 2:16.10 in second, and in third would be Sabrina Bonani from UCSD, 2:18.83. So Bonani not scoring as many points as she could, which is actually probably good if you're a Gaucho fan. All right, the A final of the 200-yard women's breaststroke. In lane 1 will be Clemence Choi, a freshman from UC San Diego. Haley Gregory in lane 2, the sophomore from UC San Diego. Mai Kawahata, UCSB junior. UCSD, Chloe Braun in lane 4, so 3 of the first 4 swimmers in the pool, UC San Diego. University of Hawaii in lane 5, that'd be Sophia Tominska, junior. Ashley Ray with her last individual swim as a Gaucho, hoping to go out on top. She is in lane 6. Lucy Wong, also her last individual swim as a Gaucho. Again, moving up from 11th a year ago to 6th in this final. And finally, Sylvia Faraboshi, a senior. So 3 seniors for the Gauchos. And I do believe Mai Kawahata is also a senior. So technically, 4 graduating Gauchos in this A final. So what a way to go out. And off they go. So hard to tell who is going to be your champion after the opening 50 of a 200 breaststroke. Everybody swims this a little bit differently. But it looks like lane 6 might have the slight edge, or lane 4. Let's see. Yeah, it's lane 6. It's Mai Kawahata, the proud gaucho. Chloe Braun was in second. Ashley Ray in fourth. I'll do my best to update the other two swimmers in the race here. Chloe Braun now starting to assert control, as is lane 3. Mai Kawahata still very much in the mix. Lane 5, Sophia Tominska also there, and Ashley Ray out in lane 6 also. Got something to say about it. Right now it's Chloe Braun, a 103.27 opener for the first 100. Mai now in second at 103.51, but just by a tenth over Tominska. Here we go to the 150. 2 laps to decide it all. 3 hitting the wall at one time. It's Chloe, Mai, Sophia, all there. 1, 2, 3, all within a couple tenths. This is wide open. Mai Kawahata, stroke for stroke with Chloe Braun. What kind of push does she have? Chloe now charging hard. So is lane 5, Sophia Tominska. And look at Mai Kawahata. A definite spot on the podium awaits if she can get to the wall. And it is Chloe Braun at 2:12.19. It is Sophia Tominska with a 2:12.58. And Mai Kawahata grabbing the bronze, 2:13.47 in her final individual swim. Congratulations, Mai. Other gauchos, Ashley Ray finishing just off the podium at 2:14.49. Haley Gregory was fifth, 2:14.78 from UCSD. Lucy Wong, 2:16.81. And Sylvia Faraboshi finished in seventh at 2:18.38. Tremendous swim. All right, on to the men's 200 breast, B final. Connor Martilla in lane 3. Looks to be the lone representative here. Joe Stevenson in lane 1 from Grand Canyon. Bekzan Yesengeldi from UCSD in lane 2. Connor in lane 3. Reed Locero from Cal State Bakersfield in lane 4. Lane 5 is Krishna Clark from the University of Hawaii. Thomas Aguero is a freshman from the University of Hawaii in lane 6. Lane 7 is Tim Koza, and he's from Grand Canyon, and representing Seattle is Nathan Eden Weeks. Connor Martilla, his final swim. By the way, the meet record, Evan Yu last year swam it in 1:53.64. He, of course, of Cal Poly. No longer here. Evan Yu no longer swimming. And, of course, Kyle Brill, Santa Barbara UCSB, wound up second in that race. Coming to the 100 shortly. And they turn at the 100. It's Reed Locero in first, Connor Martilla in fourth with a 57.59. By the way, Connor Martilla finished 8th last year with a 2:01.00. Coming to the 150 now. Lane 4 still holding firm. Reed Locero, 1:28.04. Connor now in 5th at 1:29.16. Closing yards here. And it is Reed Locero. Nice swim. 1:58.79. He's first. Connor Martilla finishes 5th at a 2:01.25, so close to what he swam last year. Way to go out strong, Connor. Now on to the A final. So much to tell you, so little time. The A final, championship final. Trent Hollinsworth in lane 1, the freshman from UCSD. Lane 2 is Owen Bohe, the sophomore out of UC Santa Barbara a year ago. He finished 7th here in this pool. He's seated 5th now. Carter Dooling, the senior from Grand Canyon, is in lane 3. Brendan Ryan in lane 4, the senior from Seattle, the top seed, 157.39 rather. Tom Tilo, the sophomore from the University of Hawaii, at 158.83. He's already punched his ticket to the NCAAs with that 200 IM performance a couple nights ago. Colton Milne, senior from UCSD, is in lane 6. Michael Peterson making his gaucho debut tonight. And Michael hoping to go under 2 minutes for the first time in his career. Got oh so close this morning, a 2:00.07. He's chased that mark all season long. We'll see what happens. And Evan Pickles in lane 8, who did the 16:50 earlier tonight, so you wonder if that might take a little bit out of him. He is a junior from Hawaii. The only finalist, I think, if I did my research, that returned from last year, by the way, Colton Milne from UC San Diego. He was 6th last year. He's in lane 6 this year. Again, the auto qualifying time they're looking for, 1:54.95. Evan Yu would have went under it a year ago. Kyle Brill would have went under it a year ago. But Kyle didn't win, but Evan Yu did. So Evan Yu would have gotten the automatic qualification, at least for this event, in the 200 breaststroke. And away they go. Let's see who was hiding speed this morning. A lot of easy swims and prelims. So you know there's going to be fireworks tonight. Across the board, the opening 50 could go to just about anybody. Maybe lane 3. It is 25.75 Carter Dooling from Grand Canyon. Colton Milne was in 2nd. Owen Bohe 8th. Michael Peterson 3rd in 26.36. Keep an eye on Michael Peterson in lane 7. Swimming with all sorts of confidence right now. On to the 100 we go. Lane 5, lane 3. Michael Peterson out in lane 7 looking good. Carter Dooling in lane 3 is the top. Michael Peterson still holding 3rd at 55.9. If he can keep this pace, he will definitely go under 2 minutes. Owen Bohe now making a late move in lane 2. All right, at the 150, it's Carter Dooling at 1:24.35. Tom Tilo now taking 2nd, Brendan Ryan 3rd, Colton Milne 4th, Michael Peterson fading to 5th at 1:27.22. Owen Bohe also in the mix. Let's see what he's got, because he could actually sweep past about 3 swimmers here, pick up some valuable points. Carter Dooling just putting on a clinic. Is going to hit the wall for Grand Canyon. 1:54.56. Punch your ticket, Carter Dooling. Brendan Ryan, 2nd in 1:56.18. Tom Tilo, 3rd in 1:56.67. 4th is Colton Milne at 1:58.28. Owen Bohe rallies to finish at 1:59.15. And Michael Peterson so close really had a great opening 100, but couldn't hold it. He finishes in 7th at 2:00:47. Big swim for Carter Dooling, though, as he is on to the NCAAs with that swim. All right, as they exit the pool, we start thinking about the last individual race of the night, which is, races, I should say, plural. It's the men and women swimming the 200 fly. And with it, UCSB's best shot at getting into the NCAAs with Samantha Banos. But first, an update from our stats desk.
So the UCSD women have a 10-point advantage over Santa Barbara after the 200 breaststroke.
So being told that after the 200 breaststroke, the women's side of things, that UCSD San Diego with just a 10-point lead over the women. That race is definitely tightened.
Yeah. Santa Barbara's got let's see, a 19-point advantage over them as seeded in the butterfly. So it may come down to the relay for those two.
So here's the update. So going into the 200 fly on the women's side, Santa Barbara has a 19-point advantage on paper, meaning if it all goes to form, then the Gauchos would actually jump UC San Diego in the standings, and then it would come down to that 400 freestyle relay, which comes up after platform diving a little later tonight. So that relay is really going to loom large as we progress this evening. Let's talk about the 200 fly while we have a moment as they give out the awards. The meet record, a 1:55.45 by Limon Liu. And get this record has been on the books since 2000. So think about Y2K 2000, that's how long ago this record was set. The automatic qualifying time is a 1:57.11. That is key, and I'll tell you why here in a second. 1:57.11. That is because Samantha Banos, who went 1:56.14 at the Navy Fall Invite, is underneath that automatic qualifying spot. Now what needs to happen is for her to win this race so that she can punch her ticket and hopefully win it under the standard as well. I think if I'm reading the rules correctly, that she needs to win, obviously win the conference to make that time count so that she would be a Gaucho that would go to the NCAAs and a worthy participant considering how much she's done for this program, the graduating senior. Annie Andrus, by the way, will be third seeded going into this with a 2:00:56. To get there, by the way, she actually dropped 1.38 seconds to place third this morning. And Sammy Hall will be seventh at 2:02:43. And just a reminder, last year's podium in 2025 went Banos at 1:56.73. The swimmer in second place tonight, Idana Huang from UCSD, was also the runner-up last year in 2025, so it's a rematch. And Sammy Hall actually was third. She's seventh tonight, so we could literally see a repeat of the podium tonight if the right conditions exist. Now, as for the consolation final coming up here in the women's 200-yard fly, there are no Gauchos in the actual consolation final, but I will go through who's in it. In lane one, we have Erin Cow, a junior out of the University of San Diego. Michelle Grabowski is a sophomore out of Cal State Bakersfield. She's in lane two. Lane three will be Sarah Harden, sophomore out of UC Davis. Kelsey Lung, a sophomore out of UC San Diego, will be in fourth. Ellie Ramos, a junior out of the University of San Diego, in lane five. Kaylee Chow, a senior out of the University of Hawaii. Min Kawamura, a senior out of UC San Diego, will be in lane seven. And rounding out the field, Sarah Regula, a junior from Seattle University. And congratulations once again to the swimmer from Grand Canyon. Carter Dooling punching his ticket to the NCAAs tonight. It's been an award-winning night for a lot of swimmers here. All right, now on to the 200 fly. All right, off they go in the B final, consolation final, the women's 200 fly. As we have a minute here, I want to tell you about the men coming up. Billy Sivich is going to be the top seed in that with a 1:43.13, and he is well under the automatic qualifying time, and he's already punched his ticket in the 100 fly earlier this meet. I'll tell you all about the Gauchos following either this race or the next. All right, 50 in. Michelle Grabowski from Cal State Bakersfield has got the early lead, 26:42. Lane 2, second from the bottom here. I do suspect we're going to hear from the middle of the pool with some easy speed to start. Also, lane 6 in the mix. Michelle still up there in lane 2 for Cal State Bakersfield. Kaylee Chow now from the University of Hawaii was in second from lane 6. Approaching the 150 now. It's still Michelle Grabowski. Does she have the legs, if you will, to hold on here? Because it looks like lane 4 and lane 6 still very much in the mix, as is lane 7. Now it's Kelsey Lang who, in lane 4, has taken over the lead in a 1:29.99. Michelle in second by a fraction. And Kelsey now making a bid for the Titans. Be a good point-scoring effort for her as they battle, UC San Diego does, with Santa Barbara in the team standings. And it'll be Kelsey Lang into the wall with the win. 2:02.37. Michelle Grabowski does hold on to second for Cal State Bakersfield. And in third is Kaylee Chow from the University of Hawaii, 2:05.76. All right, now on to one of the most anticipated races of the night to see what the senior from UCSB, Samantha Banos, can do to finish off just an unbelievable 4-year career here in Isla Vista. Sammy Hall is going to be in lane 1 from UCSB. Again, she was on the podium a year ago. Zoe Childers from Davis, the freshman, in lane 2. Annie Andrus, who also swam the 1650. You talk about a double, a 1650 freestyle and a 200 fly on the same night. Brutal. Anyway, she's in lane 3. Samantha Banos, obviously. Sam in lane 4. Her time of 1:57.71 is clearly the class of the field. Idana Huang from UCSD, the sophomore, in lane 5. Mia Lazevska Andamova is in lane 6. Iz Meraz from University of Hawaii is in lane 7. And in lane 8, it's Ella Ackerman, the freshman from UC Davis. Ackerman's had a solid meet too. So all eyes on Sam Banos. Edged out in the 500 free. Edged out in the 200 free. Has not had a win yet this meet. This is her best opportunity and likely will happen. This is her best stroke. And off they go. Lane 4. Lane 1. Lane 3, that's who you're looking for. Right now it's Hwang with the early speed. Opening 50 goes to Banos, actually, 26.38. She was just a fraction ahead of Hwang in lane 5. Annie was 6th. Didn't quite catch Sammy, but I'll get her next time. Closing in on the 100 mark. This is where Sam does her work. Back half. And she will take the lead going into the 100 with a 55.34. Annie punches in at 57.65 in 7th. Sammy Hall up there in 4th at 56.90. Sorry, bound below us, rather, in lane 1. Don't forget about Sammy. To the 150, Samantha Banos. Making the turn. 125.26, 29.92 on that split. She is anywhere near that. She's not just got the win, she's got the ticket. Samantha Banos, turning for the final time in her Santa Barbara career as an individual swimmer. And she is going to roll the win. Sammy out there in lane 1, trying to push. And Samantha Banos hitting the wall, 156.44. Samantha Banos. And that is an automatic qualifying time. Look at the grin on her face. What a way to go out for your final swim, giving her teammate Annie Andrus a hug. Sammy Hall, by the way, 200.65, finishes 6th, and Annie getting good points with a 201.65 in 8th. But man, what a moment. Saluting the team. Great time. All right, on to the men's 200 fly. I'll read you the names as soon as they're in the water. All right, consolation final, and it's full of gauchos. Jack Simon is in lane 1, the junior from Hawaii. Keanu Lee, junior from Seattle. We've got Bryden Thielenhouse in lane 3. The senior Billy Pick is in lane 4. He's from UC Santa Barbara. We've got a junior from Hawaii in lane 5. It's Anish Viravatam, freshman from UCSB. He was in the pool earlier tonight in the 200 back. Lucas Hubbard also in the pool earlier tonight in the 200 back, a freshman from UCSB. And then Lucas McKee, the sophomore from Cal State Bakersfield, in lane 8. Billy Pick finishing 10th last year. He was the top seed in this B final. And 100 in, it is Jack Simon in lane 1 that's out front, 51.04. Billy is in 3rd. All right, as they approach the 150, Billy's starting to move up. He's going to challenge the swimmer from Hawaii in lane 5. He is now in front, a 1:19.07. Keep an eye on Billy Pick, his final swim as a gaucho, the senior, wanting to go out in style. The Keanu Lee down in lane 2 also in the mix. Here we go. Lane 3, Bryden Thielenhouse also moving up. Let's see what kind of reach Billy has to the wall. It's going to be Billy Picked. winning the consolation final, 147.37. Great swim, he loves it, pounding the water with his fists. Bryden Thielenhaus finishes fourth at a 148.31. Lucas Hubbard in seventh. Sorry, let me do Anish first. He was sixth in 148.61. 149 and change for Bryden. All right, on to the championship final. Andrew Simmons, lane one, sophomore from Hawaii. Henry Height, the Gaucho, the freshman. Seeded time of 146.89. Actually has some time to scrub because he went faster at the Navy Invite when he did a 146.32, so keep an eye on Henry. Jacob Cairns, the sophomore from UC San Diego in lane three. Vili Sivic, the clear favorite in this event. Cal State Bakersfield senior, 144.29 top seeded time. Then we have Mario Perez, the senior from Grand Canyon. Jasu Ovaskinen, the junior from Grand Canyon. Victor Dagenais, the sophomore from Hawaii. And Zane Johnson in lane eight. He's also a sophomore from Hawaii. Last individual race of the night here at the 2026 Big West Finals, but trust me when I say there's a lot to go. We've got platform diving, of course, followed by a 400 freestyle relay.
Women's scores after the butterfly.
And the women have now moved above San Diego by 6 points after the butterfly, so it will come down to the 400 freestyle relay later tonight, so definitely tune in. And off they go in the championship final.
We were watching lanes 2 and 3 for the lanes 2 and 3. We're watching for the head-to-head race in this Santa Barbara and San Diego round.
Mike Carpenter reminding me, very good stat. We've got to watch lanes 2 and 3 because it's Santa Barbara and UC San Diego locked in a tight battle in the team standings. But right now it's Vili Sivic. No shock that he's out first, 22.99. Henry was out fourth, by the way. Jacob just slightly ahead in third. And in the pink cap, Vili Sivic, 49.01 opening. Mario Perez from Grand Canyon in second. Henry's got to move up a little bit here. He's got that San Diego guy to track down. Approaching the 150. Let's see what kind of kick he has. Right now it's all Vili Sivic. He turns at the 150, but let's check the other big race. And Jacob is ahead by only 4 100ths on that 150. And here comes Henry. Vili Sivic is going to win this. No question about it. And he's going to win it big, and he's going to win it with a great time. But now Henry is pushed ahead. And Vili into the wall first, and Henry is going to get the San Diego swimmer. Yes. That was a big win for the Gauchos. Henry winds up fourth at 145.70. To recap, Vili Sivic, 142.37, just an unbelievable time. In second, Mario Perez from Grand Canyon, rounding out the podium. Victor Dagenais from University of Hawaii at 145.20. But that 142.37, let me check that, is a new meet record. He beat his own record from last year, and it's well under the qualification for the NCAAs. So congratulations, Vili, and congratulations, Henry Height, who rallied to finish fourth and steal some valuable points away from UC San Diego. So we'll give you a little update before we take a break. Diving will be on the menu. Got a score? All right. This couldn't get any tighter. If you're a Formula One fan and you like your midfield scores, the midfield scores are on fire tonight for San Diego and Santa Barbara. But again, for the men, right after that 200 fly, University of Hawaii comfortably ahead of Grand Canyon, 707 to 634. But it is right there, that 3 and 4 spot that's going to come right down to the relay. UC San Diego up 5 points on the UC Santa Barbara men. So the relay is going to make the entire difference tonight, the 400 freestyle relay. And again, that is double points basically, so anything can happen. Cal State Bakersfield, by the way, sitting in 5th at 326.5. Seattle University in 6th at 247. And again, for the women, University of Hawaii comfortably ahead, 104 points over UC Davis. UC Santa Barbara trailing Davis in 3rd by 40. So don't see a scenario where Santa Barbara moves into 2nd. But UC San Diego, which is down 6 to Santa Barbara, that is going to be a very interesting race. Basically, Santa Barbara has to win that, has to be faster than San Diego, and if not, then we'll slip to 4th. University of San Diego is in 5th at 322. Cal State Bakersfield at 148 is in 6th. Seattle University ranked 7th with 131. And there you see Samantha Banos. Congratulations, ticket punched. High atop the podium across the pool, wearing her gold medal. She is on to the NCAA Women's Division I Swim Championships. She'll be on deck in March for that. Just a great way to end your career in college as a gaucho. And what I'm going to do during this break is actually turn the camera toward the dive well and give you some exclusive footage of the platform divers. But I don't know anything about diving, so I'm just going to let you guys watch the guys flying off. But I can tell you that Hawaii is favored.
Coco, Ana, Amelie.
I thought this power for sure. Yeah, because Allie's not playing, so it's going to have to do that. Yeah. I didn't think anybody was. Yeah, no thanks. Did they get a ticket puncher for this too? Did they get a ticket puncher for this? Like if you win your event and hit the minimum scores? I think I took the stairs.
So wrapping up diving, pretty impressive. And that was Ollie Wignall from Hawaii that finishes first, I believe. Well, no, hold on. I don't know diving, guys. Anyway, impressive. Back to the pool. So we are time trialing. Callie Kowalczyk, Sophia Hook from Santa Barbara, the 100 free. Good way to wrap up the meet with a little mano-a-mano. And we have a breaststroker in there. I'm trying to figure who that is. And it's going to be Kowalczyk. Callie Kowalczyk to the wall first. She punches in a 51.33, 51.71 for Sophia Hook. And again, I'm not sure who this gaucho is, but doing breaststroke, but comes up with a 105, 104.88, third. Hopefully this goes quick and we get to the main event, the relays, which are going to have so much importance tonight. So much on the line for that third position in each conference standings for the men and the women. Jason Sue in lane 3 doing breaststroke, and then we have 2 more gauchos doing freestyle. Couldn't tell you who they are. It's too far away. And oh, you got a backstroker. Look at that. It's definitely 100 free for lane 4. And 100 backstroke for lane 5. And into the wall. Mystery Gaucho goes 44.96. Good time. Mystery Gaucho number 2 goes 49.57 in lane 5. Match that up on Meet Mobile later, guys. And Jason Sue with a 56.65 100 breaststroke. And off they go again. Not wasting any time. And this is Trent Stigina doing the 200 breaststroke. So again, kind of the benchmark for the 200 breaststroke from the guys' side is if you go sub 2 minutes, that's really the goal. The winner tonight going 154 low, punching their ticket to the NCAAs. But we'll see. Get a good sense after 100 where Trent is at, an estimated time of arrival, as they say. And he is going to touch probably about 57, and he does, 57.49. So assuming he comes back a little bit slower on the back half, because that's naturally how it happens you don't usually go faster on the back 100 than you do on the first 100. Negative splitting is not usually an option in the 200 breaststroke. He is going to turn at 1:29.78, 32.39 in that split. So let's do the math and figure that he's looking about a 2:02, 2:03 finish, depending on how he holds his pace. Go, Trent, go. Turning at 1:46, so he's got about 10 seconds to get in there to break that 2-minute barrier. That's not going to happen, but he's going to get close. Stretching it out, getting to the wall, and it looks like it's going to be 2:03.87. 2:03.87 for Trent Stigina. Well done. Next up, let's see what the event is. Again, the names somewhat sparse on the board. We have 2 of them, though. Men's 50 free. It's Owen Bohe in lane 4, Andrew Lilly in lane 5. Andrew Lilly generally swimming the distance events, so Lilly enjoying a 50 free, why not? Owen Bohe is your 200 breaststroker, IMer. Got to appreciate laying down a 50 at the last moment of a meet, a 4-day meet at that. And look at Andrew Lilly powering to the win. 21.73 for Andrew Lilly, 22.01 for Owen Bohe, so Lilly going sub 22. Coaches will like that. And I do believe that wraps up our time trial. So now we're on to relays, and basically, who's going to get third? All right, let's talk about the 400 style relay conference record. And here's another good one for you Gaucho fans out there. UCSB actually has the conference record. The Big West record set in 2009, 3:18.76. Nadia Guidar, Naomi Giovanifard, Courtney Bauer, and Anne-Marie May, that foursome, to go 3:18.76 back in 2009. That would have easily beaten the Hawaii women, who went a 3:20.04 to win the Big West last year here in Houston. Our Gaucho relay finished second, by the way, in that race by just 47/100ths of a second. And if I remember correctly, that was a race that UC San Diego was involved in, but later got DQ'd in, which helped the Gauchos win the conference title along with the men a year ago, and has to be one of the more special sports moments in UCSB history to have men and women win a conference title in the same pool at the same time. Pretty cool. So he gave me that 3 hours ago. I just totally threw on my phone. All right, setting up for the B. Heat number 1 of the 400 freestyle relay. Shuffling all my notes over here to get squared away. We've got the Hawaii D team is in dog, Hawaii D team in lane 2, Hawaii B team in lane 3, UC San Diego in B, Seattle in B, Hawaii in C. That's all in heat 1 of the women. Again, the meet record, 3:20.04. And we were just a half second back last year. Take you down a little memory road here if I can find my notes. And that team for Santa Barbara last year that finished second was Miranda Stevenson, Eugenie Lanalis, Samantha Banos, and Tyron Empress Lapa. And Miranda, Eugenie, and Sam will all be on the relay tonight. Greta Collison will be the 4th member. I do not have the order, but those 4, from what I understand, will be on the relay. The men stacking up to be a heck of a relay as well in the 400 free relay. The conference record, of course, last year set by the Hawaii Warriors with a 2:52.26. And at least 2 of those swimmers are back from that team, and they are expected to be the class of the field tonight. But we'll check that out. But first, let's go relay here on the women's side. Heat 1, Santa Barbara not involved here. The only team that has posted a time going into this meet, UC San Diego's B team, was a 3:24.48. But that's not surprising because there's not that many opportunities during season to run all these different teams through, particularly at this kind of level of meet. Opening 100 looks to be Hawaii, or in lane 6 Hawaii, it's a Hawaii party, and it is the Hawaii B team that's in the lead, 50.91, opening 100, good split. There we go. That actually, I remember that. It's over here. All right.
I had to guess. Mason might be third.
Yeah.
Or Zach. Zach started.
Hawaii B team in lane 3 continues to lead. 2:06.17, 150 to go here. This should be the last swimmer in the water. And in they go. Hawaii B cruising at this point, but you could see potentially UC San Diego in lane 4 run down lane 3. We've seen crazier comebacks, but pretty hard to do when you only have 4 laps at a high intensity to get it done. Hawaii B gonna flip about a second and a half ahead of San Diego, but UC San Diego putting on a charge here. Hawaii definitely fading a smidge, but I think it's gonna be enough to hang on for the win in lane 3. Hawaii's B team goes 3:24.31, just ahead of UC San Diego B. Third is Hawaii C, about 6 seconds back. All right, now for the main event. Cal State Bakersfield's A in lane 1. University of San Diego's A in lane 2. UC San Diego's A in lane 3. Hawaii's A team in lane 4. UC Davis in lane 5. UCSB in lane 6. And Seattle in A, Seattle's A team. All A's across the board. Here's what you got to know. UCSB has to finish in front of UC San Diego to move up to third and solidify third in the WAC Big West for 2026. In some shape or form, we're going to have our 4 top swimmers, Samantha Banos, Eugenie Lanalis, Miranda Stevenson, and Greta Collison, all in the pool out of lane 6. Looks like Miranda's going to anchor from what I can see from here, but we'll see. And off they go. Watch lane 2, watch lane 3. They're right next to each other. I'm sorry, my bad. Watch lane 6, watch lane 3. My eyes are getting tired tonight. And right now, Gaucho's poking out in second place with 25 to go on this first opening 100. But a great turn by UC Davis in lane 5. Hawaii in lane 4. Out in front at this point, 48.94. UCSB in second at 49.83. To the second 50 of the opening, the second leg, I should say. Hawaii still in front. Now it's UCSB second. Third is UC Davis. UC San Diego in fourth. About a half second back. Hawaii off the wall. Into the water goes the next swimmer. And now UCSB challenging for the lead. San Diego, Hawaii, UCSB. All 1, 2, 3 right now. UCSB looks like they're going to turn first. They do. 2:02.75. What a swim being put in by the swimmer here, the third swimmer. Wow. And this looks like Sam Banos is going to be the anchor. And she's going to have the lead when she jumps in, I believe. Yeah, no, she doesn't. UC San Diego got it by 11/100ths of a second. The next 4 laps define where Santa Barbara finishes. Here comes UCSB. Samantha Banos. Flipping 3 at a time. UC Davis now number 1, Hawaii 2, UCSB 3, UC San Diego 4. San Diego is fading, but Banos isn't. What has she got her last 25? Hawaii in lane 4, Davis in lane 5, Samantha Banos on the outside. And Samantha Banos to the wall, got it! Conference champions. Samantha Banos with an absolutely cracking last 50. 25:45 on that split, 3:18.32. What a swim for the UCSB Gauchos. Unbelievable. Second a year ago, moved up to first with the DQ. Sorry, finishing second a year ago with Hawaii on top. They return the favor this year, going number 1, 3:18.32. Fantastic swim. And more importantly, with that win, UC Santa Barbara solidifies third in the Big West standings this year. San Diego will drop to fourth. I don't think we had enough, obviously, room to catch Davis, but still, what a finish. All right, on to the men. There's actually 2 heats. UCSB not in the first heat. Coach Jack's opting just to go with 1 relay team for the men. So in lane 1, Hawaii E. Lane 2, Hawaii C. Seattle is in lane 3, the B team. UC San Diego's B team in lane 4. Cal State Bakersfield in lane 5's B team, and Hawaii's B team in lane 6, and the Hawaii D team in lane 7. Now, I remember last year when we swam this, there was one of the Hawaii teams, I think, was made of seniors and wasn't expected to win and did all sorts of fun stuff on every lap. So let's see if history repeats itself tonight. Off they go. Now, while they go, let me tell you what happened, or at least some interesting facts here. Again, Hawaii won it last year with a 2:52.26 conference record. Carol Ostrowski and Finn Brophy, of course, back from that team. UCSB was second in 2025. So UCSB, the bridesmaid, last year in this same pool. And of course, that was the team of Matt Driscoll, Zach Tomasidis, Mason Wendler, and Austin Sparrow. 2:53.60. And of course, Matt and Austin now graduated. Zach outgoing this year. Mason Wendler will be the only one representing the team from last year on this year's team. In no particular order, we know Zach Tomasidis is going to be on the A relay, along with Mason Wendler, Alex Zettel, and Noah Jared Wagner. Approaching halfway in this relay. And right now it's a good race between lane 4 and lane 6. And it looks like UC San Diego's B team with a slight edge. 1:29.46 on that opening 200. And maintaining that lead. Last swimmer's about to jump in the water as part of this of heat 1. Late charge in lane 6, but not enough to catch UC San Diego's B team in lane 4 at this point. UC San Diego still holding on. About to turn at the 50. And it would take something probably pretty special in that last 50 for lane 6 to grab this guy in lane 4, but we'll see. Does he hold on here? Certainly looks like he is going to. But look at lane 7 now. Lane 7 has some speed.
He's 50 down.
Is he? Oh, he's 50 down, okay. Thanks to my crack staff, AKA Mike Carpenter, telling me that lane 7 was 50 down. I didn't see him over there. But lane 4 wins it. UC San Diego B, followed by Hawaii B in second place. That winning time, 2:58.66. And yes, lane 7's D team now coming in finally. And we're complete. All right, on to the last race of the night, the last race of the Big West Finals this year, the Big West Championships. And there's a lot here too, because UC Santa Barbara needs to finish ahead of UC San Diego. And much like the women did earlier, can the men finish ahead and at least grab third, which would be a very, very nice consolation prize tonight. In lane 2, we have Cal State Bakersfield's A. Lane 3, UC San Diego A. Lane 4, Hawaii A, expected to be the favorite. Grand Canyon A, but they've got sprinters, so don't count them out. In fact, they're not all that far off Hawaii. UCSB's A. And Seattle in lane 7 A. So the lane to look for, lanes I should say to look for, lane 3, 3 from the bottom, lane 6, 2 from the top. With Hawaii smack dab in the middle. Alex Zettel is your leadoff swimmer for the Gauchos in lane 6. On paper, the Gauchos just a fraction behind UC San Diego, about a half a second going into tonight. And right now, Grand Canyon with a cracking opener. But Alex Zettel, good turn in lane 6. They are flipping all about the same time. First is Cal State Bakersfield with a 42.66, great opening run. UCSB in 6th, and UC San Diego was in 2nd at 43.15. So Santa Barbara was down about 4/10 there after that opening 100. Can Santa Barbara make up the difference on San Diego? Right now, off a fraction. Right now, Grand Canyon in the lead, 103.28. Coming to the far wall now in a 126 rather, 4-2. So San Diego got there first. So San Diego in front. So Santa Barbara's got some work to do here in the final 200. Turning at the 250. Now it's Grand Canyon's A with a slight lead over San Diego. UCSB in 4th, 147.99. I think they're running out of real estate here unless they've got something special planned in that final 100. 100 to go. 3 guys touching the wall at once. It was UC San Diego, Hawaii A, Grand Canyon A. UCSB was 4th. And let's see what happened here. Now UCSB looking a little frisky. Now UCSB making a move. Flipping at with 50 to go. UCSB in 4th, but that gap is certainly closed. a 20.30 opening 50. UCSB now poking ahead. Hawaii leading in lane 4. Hawaii is going to win this relay, and Santa Barbara is going to rally for third. 2:54.26. Coming from behind to beat UC San Diego. What a tremendous 100 put on by Santa Barbara to clinch third, not just in this race, but third in the standings. What a way to wrap the Big West. On third? Oh, really? How about that? Oh, yeah, he did? I thought it was double, huh?
Is that a good time, Matt?
That's the case. It's good. I don't know. Let's see. Let me take a look.
Could be that yours truly might have made an error here. Santa Barbara might be coming up short by 1 point. I'm waiting on the official results, aka Mike Carpenter. We're still waiting the final scores here. Pretty sure that Hawaii is going to finish on top in both men and women. That seemed a foregone conclusion going into relays. But we're waiting on the final scores here before we bid you adieu. Is the relay complete on the ground? Is it? Well, as of now, UC San Diego is still sitting 5 points above Santa Barbara, but we're finding that hard to believe because they were 5 points before relays. So, check your Meet Mobile later, folks. We're not sure. But we can tell you for sure that the women finished in third with that incredible win in the women's 400 freestyle relay. Right now, both teams are going to be over there getting their awards. See if I can zoom in for you here. Bear with me, guys.
Came over to say for the work that you guys are doing. So how did your ratings go? Oh, sorry, is that getting recorded? I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you can stand over there. It's fine. Look at the mics is right here. No, you can stand there. So one look at the podium here now that I could kind of zoom in my very tight tripod. We'll work on that for next year. Looks like Coach Jax is going to be handing out medals for the women. Well earned. I'm sure she's very proud. All right, we finally have final scores. And the news, as much as I guess you can call it premature excitement, UC Santa Barbara is going to wind up 3 points short of UC San Diego in fourth for the men. But your consolation prize is that the UCSB women are about to get their gold medals for the podium in one of the more impressive relays in recent memory. But I can run down the scores for you as we're watching the podium here before we say goodnight. University of Hawaii on the women will win at 798, an easy win over UC Davis. Congratulations to the Aggies for taking second this year at 692. UC Santa Barbara finishes third with 660 points. UC San Diego fourth with 644. They've even got the vacuum on behind me now. University of San Diego is in fifth with 350. Cal State Bakersfield with 172, and Seattle University winds up with 157 points. And we're about to see, I believe, the Gaucho women come up and get their medals. There they are. Getting a big hug from Coach Jacks. Well earned. And as you watch them get their medals over there, top left of your screen, University of Hawaii men, an easy win over Grand Canyon. UC San Diego third with 571. UC Santa Barbara, so close, finishing 3 points behind San Diego, 568. Cal State Bakersfield winds up in fifth with 379.5, and Seattle University in sixth with 273.5. So congratulations to everyone. And as we show you the Gauchos taking pictures, the women, want to say thank you to Mike Carpenter for all of his help with statistics. I'm gonna hand him his phone now so I don't walk away with it. And congratulations to all the UCSB swimmers for some great performances in Houston this year. And can't wait to run it back in another year, next year, a year from now. So with that, I'm gonna say good night, everybody.